tell them we're live.
Yeah, the massive damages of
I can mute it.
Knock it off for you?
What's that?
So I mean, knock it off for you?
Yeah, if everyone wouldn't mind signing. No, that one's specifically for the public Last month they,
I don't want to put his name down, so I'll put it down for him.
So far in my career, so I can share this with all of you. And
Just added
of course,
his name.
you all very soon for the court, etc.
I see it right here. Next Tuesday morning.
Andre here, refugee one of
20 seconds.
congratulations. That is the next achievement. I can't
Okay, 6 o'clock, I'm going to call the second meeting to order. Roll call.
Yes. Larson? Okay. Bishop?
Here.
Dunham? Here. Miller? Here. Moses?
Here.
Needham?
Here.
Yance?
Here. Can we stand for the pledge, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, need a motion for approval of regular agenda.
I'd like to add an agenda item, if I could, please. I'd like to make a motion to get a quote from the Kalkaska Sheriff's Office to get 24-hour, 365 days a year coverage in the village.
You can't make that, it's conflict of interest.
How's it conflict of interest?
I can send you the attorney's opinion, but you can't make that motion. The same as the people in the cannabis industry making the motion related to cannabis industry.
Whoever's talking is talking right there.
I couldn't forgive.
I said we have a attorney opinion from the cannabis industry, which would do the same thing. You can't, being that you work in the industry, you have your employment is related to it. I can send you the copy. I can send you the attorney's opinion.
So because I work for the sheriff's office?
Correct.
I can't make a motion.
Correct.
So somebody else can make a motion.
Correct.
Approval for searching. Any motion? Anybody?
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Consent agenda. Board members can request their last year's group for the consent agenda for discussion. The motion has been in order to adopt all items that are removed. After that motion is passed, discussion will occur on those items previously selected for removal. Motion on that.
I'll second it.
Any discussion? Motion passed. We say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Read public comment. Comment out there for anybody? Nobody? Move on. Need a motion on the public hearing?
I'll make the motion to open up public hearing.
Support it?
Or,
You can do roll call.
yep, I'll take a roll call vote to open the public hearing. Bishop?
Yes.
Dunham? Yes. Miller?
Yes.
Moses?
Yes.
Needham?
Yes.
Yams?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion carries, public hearing open at 6:04 p.m.
Okay, this is the public hearing. We have comments on the commercial rehabilitation incentive certificate and applications for property owners on 129 East Kalkaska Street. Anybody before we go to an explanation, or is everybody good?
I'd love to hear it.
No, yeah, I'm in a meeting right now, probably that. Yeah, sure, you're open.
This is a commercial rehabilitation plant, and that property is not, can you all hear me?
Here, actually take mine so that he can ask questions.
This is a commercial rehabilitation abatement, and most people, when they think of an abatement, they think that means they would pay no property tax. Actually, the value of the lot is set here, and for the 10 years, they still pay that amount, so nobody goes backwards there. As the project gets built, it's going to be worth in excess of here. They still pay about 50% of that as it goes, but there's nobody loses. And then 10 years out, when the project is, when the abatement is finished, then it goes to the full amount. There's a couple of reasons why they need it. One, the pro forma doesn't quite work. Construction costs are so high, and this is still an evolving market, a developing market, that they need some assistance from MEDC. In order to get that assistance, MEDC requires community support, particularly monetarily. Without giving them any cash, a tax abatement qualifies according to the MEDC. And I've been asked how it benefits, how it hurts other businesses. It really doesn't, it's just helpful one. But how it helps other businesses is if you do the calculations according to the Michigan Travel, people spend about $100 per person night in other expenditures beyond the price of the hotel per visit night. And if you do 50%, just over 50% occupancy, which is really conservative, over the course of the year, that would bring about $3 million in additional tourist dollars into the area. And that's the benefit for the village.
Anybody else?
I have a quick question about the payment, whether 5 to 10 years.
It needs to be that long to make the pro forma work. By then, the anticipated room rate will be high enough where it works. The fellow who put together the pro forma is sitting over here, and it's a very complicated accounting document. I've gone through it several times with him, and he understands it a lot better than me.
When we do.
Anybody else? Last call. Okay, take a motion on close public hearing.
I'll make the motion to close the public hearing.
Support?
Support. Thank you.
Take a vote.
The roll call vote. Dunham? Yes. Miller?
Yes.
Moses?
Yes.
Needham?
Yes.
Nance?
Yes.
Bishop?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion carries, public hearing closed at 6:08 p.m.
Okay, Finance Committee.
All right. First thing I want to do is go over the invoices and the amount of invoice total is $220,521.61. And the invoices that are, the amount due is $192,362.66. And I would recommend there be a motion that we pay both those.
That we pay the amount due?
I'm sorry, what's that?
That we pay the amount due? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, support.
Need a vote?
No discussion, I'll take a roll call vote on the approval of the bills. Miller?
Yes.
Moses?
Yes.
Needham?
Yes.
Nance?
Yes.
Bishop?
Yes.
Dunham?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, one of the other things that was on our agenda tonight was for the rate increase that we talked about last month from the IAI. And after reviewing all the paperwork and having the gentleman there to speak to us tonight, we decided that rather than take a vote tonight on something that we may want to change again in a month or so, we're going to put it off for another month until we get some figures in that Aaron told us we've applied for some monies from the state of Michigan and a few such things that would help offset some of this cost. And we'll know hopefully by next month. So we're just going to recommend that right now, that we put that on hold for one more month. And then there was a recommendation to a concrete quote for all the spots in the town that need stuff going on right now. And at this time, the village council would like to recommend that we do two of them. One on 104th Street for $3,685. And a Chalker Park for $3,855. And leave the rest to work in the 2025 capital improvement plan, not pay out that much right now. So we would recommend that those two be adjusted. If you have any questions on those, I think you're going to answer those. But I would make that motion.
Support.
I believe there's some network. I think we had a handicapped piece of equipment that hasn't been put out there. It's still in our garage. And we want a piece of network. So we want to get that out, get it out of the garage and get that out there, and the recreation fund can cover this, not hamper any of our other funds. And the other one, what was the reason we wanted to do it? We have whole chunks of good concrete curb.
109 Fourth is where we took the sidewalks out when we did the remediation underground. We wanted to make sure to put those back in between the parking spot and 109 Fourth. One, for a place to walk, especially if that ends up being an apartment building, and two, because it's a big hole in the ground and not safe for somebody walking. Right now, it's barricaded off, but that's a temporary solution.
Diane, could you give me the 4th Street, the dollar amount at 109 4th Street or 104 4th Street?
104 4th Street is $3,685 even.
I'm sorry, 3,685.
85.
Got it. Thank you. I will take a roll call vote on these if there's no further discussion. Moses?
Yes.
Needham?
Yes.
Hands?
Yes.
Bishop?
Yes.
Dunham?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, and then we look at the roof repairs for the restrooms. I believe that's at Parker, right?
Correct.
The restroom buildings. And we have 3 quotes to look at, and the finance committee would like to recommend that we take the quote from Story Roofing Company, option number 2, which is in the amount of $9,989 even. And the reason we chose this is a little bit more than one of the other options that we had, but this one came with a lot more warranties and guarantees and lifetimes and the kind of shingles and stuff that we're using, and it was just much more, for just $1,000 difference, we figured we were getting much more for our money because of the warranties and guarantees on the product as well, that the other companies didn't give us. So that's our recommendation, that we take the quote from Story Roofing for $9,989 even.
I have a comment.
Support, please, thank you.
Story Roofing did 2 roofs at the county building last year, the admin building and the court building. They were called back twice for leaking, and they're currently in litigation with the county for the work that they performed.
And but on our end, they did our fire removal plan. They did a great job. And they came back and fixed it.
It's just
And that's why, no, I'm not disputing. I know that too. I'm just not sure how much of that is their side.
well, they did have buckets of water in the administration building because it was raining multiple times.
So we got a motion to pay the $9,989.
Yes. Motion and second.
Second. Take a vote.
No further discussion? Needham?
Yes.
Hands?
No.
Bishop?
Yes.
Dunham?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Moses?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I think that's all I have.
That's it. That's all you got? Okay, reports from other committees, police report.
Okay, you guys all, I assume have my manager's update that I sent, or that Angie sent out. We're working on a counterfeit money case that includes numerous counties. Over 60 people are involved in this ring. It's estimated it's passed over $1 million in currency through at least 6 states. The leader of the group is wanted in 6 states. That's where that 6-state number comes from. Right now, Antrim, Grand Traverse, Kalkaska, and Kalkaska County are all submitting theirs to the prosecutor in Antrim County for continuing criminal enterprise case. So that's still in the works. They're basically taking dollar bills, taking the ink off, making them $100 bills. We're just staying up on ordinance violations, and I don't know if you guys have noticed, there's some gypsy pavers that are not in. These people come to the area, they have brand new equipment. We all know what paving equipment looks like, how dirty it is. This stuff is not, it's brand new. They come from out of state, they knock on your door, I have leftover pavement, if you want me to do your driveway, they pave your driveway and they leave. So when you have problems, you can't contact anybody to fix them. That's it for the list. Water main break at Cedar and 5th Street. The invoices came in. Matt's invoice was $194,000 and Elmer's was $27,000 for paving. That was a 70-year-old cast iron pipe. According to our engineer, the worst material, even worse than AC pipe. I currently have, IAI has given me a list of all the state highway crossings that we have for water and sewer. Lloyd is currently working on what materials those are made of, so that we can hopefully plan to replace those prior to them breaking. Matt said if we schedule them, we'll save about 25%, he figures. If they happen in the winter, it would have been double this. So we're just trying to avoid that. Right now, we're looking at about 10 crossings between Cedar Street and West Mile Road. Dawn Coons is currently working with Elizabeth on the treasurer training. She says that's going very well. They have the L4029 prepared. They're reviewing it. As soon as it gets through review, they'll be able to send that out. Gaylord PD did end up purchasing the old Tahoe for $20,000, and that transaction is complete. Cameras are currently being installed at Chalker Park. As part of that, we will have safe transfer stations. We'll actually have a sign there for people that are doing, say, Facebook sales. If they want to meet somebody they don't know, they can do it on camera, and it will be recorded. I also let the township know we do have a couple extra spots available in that DVR. If they wanted to add some cameras facing their building, we would work with them on that. Had a meeting with Consumers Energy out at the sewer plant a couple weeks ago. As a result of that, good bad news, I would say. A lot of the things we can do to save energy we're already doing, which is great, bad at the same time because there's not a whole lot of way to cut our costs. We do have some things we can do at the air removal plant related to VFDs, and we're looking into those. We did enroll in the demand response program that allows consumers to not shut off, but we would discontinue use of electricity at either the sewer plant, the IRP, or the Coral Street lift station. We put them on standby generators. They can do that up to 4 times in a year between June, July, and August. In the last 5 years, they've only done it 1 time. Entering that program saves us about $1,800 a year. We're also changing some of the rates, what we're being charged, especially at the wastewater treatment plant. Those changes will save us about $3,400 a year. We're still currently exploring other rebates, including lighting efficiency and rebates from Consumers Energy related to those that won't be as substantial, but it is still something. Any questions for me?
Do you have any updates on planning prices for camera equipment, or is that going to be the next meeting?
Relying on it. So the answer is no, there is no price. We were able to make the old equipment. And thank you to Damien for helping us get up and running with sound and video today. I know I could not have done it without him.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. My report is just a few things. I don't know if you know, Saturday we had the rail cars in here. It's kind of cool. And they make this a stop north and south. It's kind of nice to see them have our village to stop on there. I think everybody enjoys them. North of town, the house was burned down. There was tons of people up there taking pictures of that. Hopefully that's going to get cleaned up, and maybe that's property gets sold. We can get some new business in there. South of town, down by Four Seasons. Supposedly that property's for sale, and somebody's going to build something there. We'll find out soon as that, stuff comes available to the planning commission. Don't forget the DDA over here, their new old building over there, so if you haven't been there, go check it out. I think, I told them to do an open house, it'd be kind of neat for everybody to know where it's at and take a look at it. So if you get a chance, stop in there. As far as the finance committees before the meetings, I think it would be nice if we did it, if you did it at the building, and instead of having it in the so-called meeting room, that they could have it where the treasurer used to be, and that would be the only time. That way, people come in for the meetings, they can sit down, and they can be standing out in the hallway and all that kind of stuff. So it don't only be for just a short time anyways. So
We could, nobody counts, but we're not really losing chairs, but
well, that's pretty much just a lot of people there before the meeting, and they're still doing the finance. So that way, I'd get them over there, and get them out of the way, and get it done.
Angie, how much stuff do we have to move out of there before we can use that? I know there's a bunch of documents on the table. And
Yeah, there's boxes and stuff.
And as far as the council goes, remember your packets are ready on Friday. So if you pick them up, you get the weekend, go over the things on there. And, other than that, that's it.
The president mentioned the property next to the All Seasons Resort. We did receive a site plan for that late last week. It still doesn't say what the business is, other than it's about a 10,000 foot retail space. So there is something coming. We just don't know what.
Okay, move on to unfinished business. Consider adoption of ordinance 2024-06, amending Department of Public Safety. Anybody have any questions on that? Otherwise, we need a motion on it.
I'll make a motion.
Support?
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Right here.
Thank you.
Need a vote.
No discussion, I will take a roll call vote to adopt ordinance 2024-006. Gans?
No.
Bishop?
Yes.
Dunham?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Moses?
Yes.
Needham?
Yes.
Larson?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, under new business, consider adoption of resolution 2024-017, approving commercial rehabilitation exemption certificate application for property owner at 129 East Kalkaska. Motion on that?
I would make that motion.
Support?
Yes, that's.
I have a question.
With
In the application, it says that, the section 5, local government action happens after the completion of part 4, which is not yet completed.
I don't have the access for any voice.
So part 4 is the assessor recommendations.
Yeah. That, I believe that is for the processing before you send it to the state application. That's the next one.
anything else?
I'm skimming through this. So in the instructions, it says, LGU assessor instructions to be assigned part 4 of the application, and then LGU clerk instructions says after LGU action, complete part 5 of the application, which is where our approval goes in for the exemption. So I'm just wondering if we're doing things out of order.
I don't think so. I think
Is this because of the time that the county needs to be able to review? Is this a different thing?
no, they have, I think, 28 days to review. I think it's just a matter of order, but I believe that's, has to be signed by the clerk, and that's the final step. And you do that after the, contact the assessor. Is that, yeah.
What was that, Cash? Right, but it looks like we're doing part 5 right now, and the assessor has not been completed. It shows all the values.
This is what
Mhm.
which is.
The number of years, right?
That's what we're.
Yep, or not. And it said. It means in part 4, and it would be part 5.
Give some of this. See,
I think it's the difference between resolution and the local resolution.
directions. Here's this first. This has to be-
Submitted, distributed.
Prior to.
Okay, so what we're looking at is the, application with the information, about the project. We're trying to understand the order of operations in the, application. And I thought that perhaps the part before with the assessor recommendations needs to be done before we vote on it, because it comes before our section in the application, and that's how it reads in the instructions, but we're not sure if that has to be done in that order.
How detrimental would it be if this were passed next month instead of this one? How crucial is it at this?
If it was passed now, I'll just say, tax revenue, let us know, or should we make sure we got the guys across the T's?
So you gotta, if you pass it now and, it has to be passed before, I'm not aware of it having been done before the assessor, maybe it's wrong. But if it does, then you can just redo it next week, or next week, start next month, you can check with the state tax commission to affirm either way. But you guys,
So my take on that, if whoever made the motion is good with it, maybe you continue with the motion with the caveat that Angie check with the tax commission and make sure that we don't have to do it in the other order, which it doesn't appear that we do, maybe. I guess I don't know, I'm confused reading it, so.
I think we should wait until we know for sure, since it's something that's gonna be going on for 10 years. If it's not crucial, and get it in the right order, just to make sure. I agree with trustee Dunn.
Who made the motion?
Diana?
I guess it's a, I'm sorry, well, I'm just saying, as far as the motion goes, it's kind of, if she wants to change it or continue, right? Would you agree?
Can we do some of it and not some of it?
Well, all that we're trying to approve right now is this section right here, number 5. So we either approve it, contact the state, and make sure that we can approve this prior to this. If not, we would have to do it all over next month.
I do think that it would make sense that we would know the taxable value in the application before we voted on it. So, trustee Miller is pitching the idea that we have a special meeting if the information is able to come to us quickly, and this is time sensitive.
If they're not going to approve it today, would you need a special meeting, or can it wait till July?
it's time sensitive, but I hate that they have a special meeting for it.
You'd rather have one this week.
Let's see how long it will take the assessor.
And then just decide from there.
Right.
What do you say, I'm sorry?
What I'm hearing is we're going to check with the assessor, see how long it takes the assessor to complete part 4, and then either set up a special meeting or come back in July and vote on it.
Can you withdraw my motion?
If that's what you would like to do.
I can do that.
So she's going to withdraw her motion, yes. Do you need to catch up, Angie, or?
No, I think I'm good. And this was, the course of making notifications of the public hearing was based on the original information you received previously on the order of, setting out the notices, scheduling the public hearing, notifying the assessor, the county, and the taxing units of the public hearing. So that was what I was basing this sequence on.
So that makes me think that the way it's written isn't necessarily, that's even makes it more confusing, so I guess we've got to push it.
In the act, it states that, and maybe the application supersedes it, it states that you, before you pass a resolution, you have to have a public hearing. You have to notify the county, et cetera, it doesn't say you have to notify the assessor, but that is in the application. So it's two different things. It sounds like there's an ambiguity.
Or I think we can move to the next one now. Okay, consider adoption of ordinance 2824, amending the village or the zoning ordinance for support residential dwellings in the downtown commercial district.
What is considered frontage? How far off the or near the road is frontage?
I'll make a motion.
Need a motion and a second on the first.
I'll support it.
I'll second.
Any other discussion?
Does that mean off the top of your head?
Entryway. The entryway could, basically the front, like you wouldn't have windows of your apartment looking out onto Cedar Street, and you wouldn't walk in off Cedar Street.
But could your side of your building be on Cedar Street? Could the side of your building be on Cedar Street according to the way
No.
this is written?
No, it cannot, it would have to, there would have to be a commercial separation between residential and commercial on Cedar Street. Does that explain it better than,
Yeah.
I got it.
So there's no distances on
No.
If the door they go in and out of is on Cedar Street in downtown district,
It would not be
it
allowed.
would be a violation.
Correct.
Any other discussion? Take a vote.
I have a question. This was, I know that this is a housing thought here. But are there any other streets that we want to include in addition to Cedar Street in the downtown district? That would be excluded from this change, or would we welcome residential on the first floor of anywhere else in the DDA district?
And I know, we talked about this at finance, but part of this is related to 109 4th Street, because that property obviously is not even on Cedar Street, but under the current ordinance, that would not be first floor apartments. It would have to be commercial, and I think that would kill any project that could ever go there, because it just doesn't have enough commercial draw being off the main road.
Well done. Let's take a vote
Bishop,
Yes.
Dunham,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Moses,
Yes.
Needham,
Yes.
Yams,
Abstain.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, last one, consider approval of 2024 L-4029S village tax rates. Motion on that?
I'll make a motion.
I'll support.
Any discussion on it?
Angie, can you explain why, I know we found something that is unique from our budgeting time. Can you explain that, since you understand it better?
Yes, I will try. So typically when we adopt, can everyone hear me? When we adopt the budget, at the budget hearing, the preamble of the budget resolution includes language about the levies, the mills to be levied. And that is really, it probably should read not to exceed, because that, that's a maximum that we're adopting at the time of the budget adoption. But the true millage rates are not determined until this time, until we receive the information from the township. So this technically needs to be approved now, because these are the actual millage rates. So going forward, we will do this every year. At the time that we receive the actual millage rates, they will need to be approved by council.
So what I would anticipate you'd see in the next budget is not to exceed for the mills and not a number. This is stuff that we've learned in working with Dawn and Freedom.
And these numbers have not changed in a while, correct? These are the same.
And these numbers are actually slightly lower, very minuscule lower than the language from the budget resolution.
Any other questions? You good vote on that?
Certainly. Dunham,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Moses,
Yes.
Nita,
Yes.
Lance,
Yes.
Bishop,
Yes.
Larson.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Any brief comments? John, you got something?
Can everyone hear me or? I kind of mumbled down the last. Just a couple minutes of your time. I'm John Roberts, Library Director. On August 6th, the library is requesting a renewal of our existing millage. This millage voters approved in 2008, 2014, and 2019. It's a quarter mil and is estimated to raise about $262,000 in the first year it's levied. In any given year, depending on the amount of grants, donations, and penal fines taken in, the library's millage is about half of total revenues. Also, I'll point out here, since some voters are unaware, by statute, the library receives court-ordered fines and fees within our account. In the last 20 years, our penal fines have dipped from about 161,000 in a year to about 56,000. In the last 2 or 3 years, they've started to rise again, and they're up to about 91,000 for the last fiscal year. This library, our library is a Michigan Class 4 library, meaning it serves between 12,000 and 26,000 patrons. There are 85 Class 4 libraries in Michigan, with our library currently ranking about 79th in terms of millage rate levy and total operating income. Since our last millage renewal in 2019, the library began operating Kalkaska Public Schools' 5 building libraries. This academic year, we circulated about 22,000 books and other items, and on average conducted about 25 class visits per week. Earlier this year, we opened 2 permanent branch libraries at the Cold Springs and Garfield Township halls, with a full range of services and materials in place over the course of this year. And since 2019, the number of Kalkaskans using the library has grown from 4,814 to 5,939, and the number of materials circulated has grown from 43,979 to almost 60,000. I left with Angie the library's current master plan, and then just a little one-pager info sheet. My contact information is on here. So I really appreciate your time. Any questions, comments, complaints? So thank you very much. And I got a question, just do the same thing over at Orange Township. So does anybody have any questions right now? All right, thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. Okay, any other brief comments?
I do have a question for the audience. We are testing the space with the addition of sound equipment, and I was wondering if you could hear us consistently throughout the meeting.
Most of you.
Okay.
It was nice.
Anybody got anything else?
She's the one that
I
asked.
have a suggestion. When you're doing like this new business or the unfinished business, it has these ordinance numbers, and it just has this brief little statement on there. We don't know what those are, so when you go through this, could you do just a brief explanation of what it's for, so that we know what you're approving and what's happening in the village?
Yeah, we can do that.
Thank you. So like, what is that?
Okay,
Is that something that we could post along with the agenda on the website? We just scan the
The entire packet is actually posted on.
entire packet is okay.
Okay, if nothing else, then meeting adjourned. Thank you for coming.
I know. meeting starting in the morning, and as soon as it's done, we have to be at 6.
Those resolutions are all in the packet, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I
Yep,
didn't
sure.
read the whole packet. Like when I fully throw off those. That was a good point that she asked. But not everybody thinks to go through the packet the way I do. You know, it's not that compelling reading for a lot of things. So what was your opinion? Were you able to hear what they say?
Sure, yes.
You and I were doing the same thing when Diane was talking about the numbers for the concrete work. I didn't get those numbers either. I'm just gonna come over and bother you about it. I'm glad you asked her. I think a lot of it is gonna be just having them get used to the microphone, speaking into it instead of speaking off to one side or the other. It's not now.
I'm glad.
Yeah, but I'm